What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This whole series is on different ways you can connect with other people by building rapport, connection, and yeah, all the things that go into that. For those of you that don't know, my channel is on my mindset coaching. What do? I help you pursue your goals by teaching you fundamental basics of psychology that you can use and apply in a masterful way. So today's topic is going to be on the concept of rapport, specifically speaking, the concept of kinesthetic empathy. Kinesthetic empathy. So what exactly is kinesthetic empathy? So have you seen my video on breathing and heartbeat? Those are examples of kinesthetic empathy. When you're looking at the words kinesthetic empathy, you're looking at two components. Kinesthetic, which means body. Empathy is your ability to feel what another person is feeling. So if you put the two together, you have kinesthetic empathy. So being able to feel the body of another person. So this was something that came really new to me in my career once I got my degree in counseling. I got into the field and I was introduced to this topic by somebody that was majoring in dance and therapy. So it's like a movement-based therapy. And she had shared this topic. I was experiencing some of this. And ever since then, I had a word for it. So I was super happy. But I was starting to see this stuff working in the field, vicariously taking on some sensations, some feelings that the clients were, that I was working with, were experiencing. Kinesthetic empathy, the way that you would feel things. So what I was feeling was, say, tension in the shoulders. I was able to experience that. And, they say, you talk to any masseuse, they're like, yeah, a lot of people carry a lot of stress in their shoulders. Being able to move them, relax them. And, in my beginning of my career, I was helping people bring awareness to that without actually tapping into the kinesthetic empathy at first, until I started to feel a little bit more deeply into my clients. So, we do some kinds of things, progressive muscle relaxation. It's basically, tense release. So if you can make it worse, you can make it better. It's the same thing with like diaphragmatic breathing, right? A lot of people tense themselves and they're not aware of it because they're always on edge. They're always stressed out, and that can manifest itself in different parts of the body. So basically, I was practicing this stuff. I was learning it. I was feeling it and seeing different tension spots. And then I had this awareness of this kinesthetic empathy. Sometimes you can get this. Like if you see somebody leaning in or covering their stomach, sometimes you get that same sense to want to do that. Sometimes you have somebody that has their shoulders up and you end up wanting to do that. Well, how does this happen? How is kinesthetic empathy a thing? If you look at brain scans, when you look at, say, like a hammer, your mind is associating multiple parts with it, not just what it is, you're seeing what it looks like. Also, you're firing parts of your brain for uses. What is it used for? What are contexts I'm going to use this for? What color is it? What texture is? So all this wealth of knowledge is firing in clusters of neurons that are going inside your brain. When you look at somebody with your mind, your mirror neurons, those are basically your mimicking neurons, the brain cells inside your head. They are taking on what you're seeing through somebody else, and you're processing the context of what it would feel like. And, sometimes what this would look like, I guess you'd say, kinesthetic sympathy, is if you see somebody get kicked in their soft parts and you want to, close up your, I've been trying to work on getting a good angle here, where I'm setting this. This thing's a little high. We need like a booster seat, in order to be seen here. But yeah, I'm literally gonna have to hold this here until 1 second. So kinesthetic empathy, where were we at? All right. So we're just gonna have to hold this. So basically with kinesthetic empathy, you feel what somebody else feels. If they are slouched over, you can fall into that. If you're the type of person that ventures out and is outer focused, you focus on other people, it's easier for you to pick up what, they're experiencing. That's also enthusiasm, expandedness, confidence. This is somebody that's truly confident. You end up feeling what they're feeling. Here's some psychology research that says if you spend time, the 5 people you spend the most time with, you end up becoming like. It's the same thing. You pick up on their nonverbals, what their body is feeling, their energy, their enthusiasm, their virtue, all that stuff, right? So, it's interesting to see that. Like, are you loose in certain areas? Are you tightened in certain areas? Should you tighten up in areas? And, I've learned to play around with this stuff. So if you guys watch some of my other videos, what I've shared is the concept of rapport and how when you're in connection, you're kind of gifted with a little bit of energy. And the saying is where attention goes, energy flows. And this is the same with your body. Now, some people have been stuck from subconscious pasts and their body getting all locked up. With polyvagal theory, that's basically how your nervous system works. We can sense how the body gets stuck. Anybody ever have a Charlie horse before? You know that feeling when you're like locked up? Your muscles are pulling too much and they're clenching, and it's involuntary. Sometimes we clench involuntary and we clench too much. We can feel that in our bodies, and learning how to just relax that or straighten it out or stretch it out. That's what you would do with a Charlie horse. You pull the muscle, then it detangles itself. When you're in connection with people, think of it like this. You have a Charlie horse of, this is the best way I could say it, is like a feeling of being at home. Now, when you were originally in the womb, you felt completely connected with your mom. And you knew yourself by connection with another person. In fact, when you were born, you didn't know the difference between you and mom. You thought you were mom because you had no concept of self. That's how connected and unified you were. Ultimate sense of rapport. So when you have kinesthetic empathy, you pick up on the people's body language, what their body language nonverbals are saying, their breathing, their tempo, and you can become sensitive to that. It almost gets to the point where you can be almost magnetic, or definitely magnetic, where you feel that connection. You get gifted with that extra energy that feels like home. And that's what the power of connecting through the body is. You can connect to people and understand with them. Now, what you also can do is you can connect and feel where they're at, and then they let their guard down. What's awesome about when somebody lets their guard down, they can non-verbally do it if you pay enough attention to it, or you'll feel that click. That's the rapport. That's how you know you're in rapport. There's a click moment. When you know that that has happened, you can either just relax, be open, go with the flow, or you can begin to lead in a direction that you would like to go. Say it's getting unstuck. Let's switch up the environment, right? Say you have a new idea, or you want to introduce something new. You want to propose something. People that don't create empathy will go in and comes off really strange, where they're like, hey, what's up? I want this. Boom. You're like, whoa, why are you getting no's? You're getting no's not based off what you're saying. You could be saying something that's really fantastic, but you're not in congruence. Now, sometimes if you don't even feel your own body, you're not in congruence with yourself. chances are if you're not in congruence with yourself, you're not in congruence with other people. This is why I suggest not drinking like a bunch of cups of coffee in a day. You know, sometimes maybe having too much sugar. I just had the scone before this, so I guess I'm the exception to the rule. But you're able to connect to people. But when you take something inside yourself that, you know, say it demands too much energy, you're not necessarily going to use your self-control to relax yourself and match to somebody else's kinesthetic empathy. Likewise, if your body is always stagnant and not moving, you're not going to be able to connect with people that have their body fresh, moving, occupied, energy circulating, blood is circulating as well. If you've had traumas where you've been stuck and it stresses you out, you're like, it locks and it gets worse, you're not going to know what being able to relax is like in environments that are relaxing. Therefore, your body will never allow you to connect truly and feel at home. And a lot of people don't feel at home in their own bodies. So kinesthetic empathy is so important to be able to understand, because what you can do is you can mimic intentionally to connect with people that are around you. Who does this help? This helps people that are in sales, entrepreneurs, business meeting, public speakers. Maybe you want to impress a loved one. Maybe you want to connect deeper to people that are around you, because who doesn't want to do that? Feel at home in your own skin. Feel at home in any room that you're in, regardless of who's there. People of different backgrounds, you never met them, and you feel comfortable inside yourself. How are you able to do that? Well, you're able to do that through rapport, through connection. And, you know, the title of this video with the kinesthetic empathy, this is another component that you're going to be able to connect with people that are around you. So anyway, this was my video on kinesthetic empathy. If you made it through the fantastic, this thing breaking, then congratulations. I hope you guys got a benefit from the actual content of this. And if you guys had experience with this, I would love to hear it. This stuff can be easily integrated with polyvagal theory, because that's your nervous system. So, you know, eat your muscles, the nerves move through. So this stuff builds, it builds, it builds. I just want to give you guys the fundamentals, and then why you want to know these fundamentals, and then how you can incorporate them in your own life. So if you guys found this video helpful, like the video, you comment, let me know what's going on, how it impacts you, and, you know, what you hope to get out of using kinesthetic empathy now that you have this new awareness. And lastly, if you really enjoyed this, subscribe, check out my channel. I got some other videos. I put up some information I think is helpful for you guys to understand. I know personally, because I have wrestled with a lot of this stuff and the ideas. I saw the merit and the benefit. I tested it with some of my clients and got to see the fruits and the merits of it, not just inside myself, but with others. So if you guys are interested in that, hit the subscribe button as well. So I will see you guys in the next one. This is High Shield Coaching.